Hi, I'm Deb from Skein Sisters. So today we're going to talk about knitting in the round and how you alternate skeins. So alternating skeins is really important when you've got a hand-dyed yarn like our new Joyful DK, which is what I'm using here for my Avena sweater. I'll show you in a second. Because even though we do have dye lots, so we normally dye 4 to 6 per tray, so we end up with a dye lot of 8 to 12. Every skein is going to be different because it takes up the dye differently and so on. So every now and again you can be knitting and you'll finish a skein and then you'll start a new one and you'll have this line right across the middle. And so on our labels and on most hand-dyed yarns, it will say something like, for best results we recommend alternating skeins. So what does that actually mean? All it means is that you knit 1 or 2 rows from one and then 1 or 2 rows from the next, and you keep swapping like that until you reach the very end of your previous ball, and then you keep going with the new one. And that just blends the colours, so you don't have that really sharp defined line from one skein to the next. So I will just show you. It's this lovely jumper here. I've just finished the ribbing on it, and I'm just doing a sleeve. And as I showed you, I've got, I don't know, just a few grams left. So I've probably got enough for 5 or 10 rounds to then start alternating in with my new skein. I used for it, so our new Joyful DK, which is 100% Blue Face Leicester in Antarctica. And for the colour work, I used Macchiato and Teddy Bear. Don't use brown very much, but I absolutely love it as a contrast. So when I was doing this sleeve, I thought this is a really great place to show you because it's not going to be one massive round. And when you're doing alternating in the round, it's really easy, and there's a fantastic trick that I want to show you. So Janine, do you want to come around the back? So I have got to almost the underarm of my sleeve. So you can see here, that's where my marker is. And what we're going to do is slip 3 stitches. So you always slip purlwise unless the pattern tells you differently. 1, 2, and I've slipped my marker, and 3. Drop that one, so that's my old skein, and pick up the yarn for the new one. And then we just start knitting with that. Make sure I'm doing the right end. The other end is just there dangling, and you will weave that in later once you've either at the end or once you've done a few rows. So I'm going to just go all the way around here, and I am continental knitting. It's much faster for me. And if you want to learn, we do have classes in it. And the reason behind continental is so good. Because for me it's faster. There's a few less movements. Things like brioche is really easy, and colour work, you can do it two-handed. So we're getting there. I'm using little Chiagu 40 centimetre circulars. So the needles are 10 centimetres long, and then the cable is 20 centimetres. And I find that really fantastic. Down my size sleeves, I can get down to about the wrist using a 40 centimetre, and then I might have to magic loop from that point.
The other ones which are good for sleeves are the 30 centimetres, and they've got the tips that
are bent, aren't they? So they bend.
They bend in
at about this point, and the needles are a bit shorter, aren't they? They're about 8 centimetres long, I think.
They might be 10,
Is that right?
But with the bend, they look a bit smaller. It's the bend actually helps close the gap. So I find, and I prefer using the 30 centimetres. I find I can get most of the sleeve, if not all of the sleeve, done on them.
So can you see there? That's where my old skein, my previous skein, that's the yarn coming off there. And what we want to do is stop 3 stitches so that there's 3 stitches to go. Okay, so we'll just get to that point. I've got 2 more. Okay, so 3 stitches. So we drop that new ball, right? And we just slip these ones. 1, 2, 3. And I give it a little tug. See, that was a bit loose. So I just tighten up my stitches again, tighten them up to the needle. And now we can actually just continue knitting with this one. This technique is called helical knitting. And you've basically got 2 yarns going around at the same, I don't know, you'll get it once you do it. So that's the 3 that I slipped previously. And see, that's the end of my new one. And we just go straight over the top of that.
So what's the benefit of that?
So it means that you are getting 1 row, 1 row, 1 row, 1 row. You're alternating those skeins. And
moving the joint.
You're moving the join all the time. You can't see the join at all. And sometimes if you are swapping skeins, say at this point, all at the same point, up a row, you'll really see that.
You'll get a ridge?
You'll get a ridge. Sometimes the stitches on either side are a bit tighter because you've pulled them at different tightnesses. Well, that's not a very good word, is it?
It's a word.
A good word now. So I'll go all the way around again and show you. But I never get a really great finish if I am just swapping at that one point. And I found that by moving those stitches, it just looks absolutely seamless. And I'll show you it on the body where I've done it when I swapped on the body.
So what did you call it?
Helical knitting.
Helical.
Helical, yeah. And if you were doing, say, a 1-1 stripe, that's how you would do it as well. In the round, obviously, not if you're doing flat knitting.
While you're doing that, we're just going to walk over here and have a very quick look at our lovely Joyful DK. It's done so well with its little launch over the weekend.
Yes. One thing that we love is we love choosing which colour we're going to do next. Because we have a different colour on our labels, don't we? So Fabulous Sock is hot pink and Romance is navy. And then this one is beautiful olive green.
Olive green.
Just thought it's easy to stand out on the shelf and in your bag. And okay, so I'm 4 stitches. There's my previous skein, right?
Yeah.
That we dropped. So I've got 4 stitches. I just knit 1 more. Drop that one. Pick up this one. And then slip these 3. 1, 2, 3. You could do 4 if you wanted to. 3 is just a number that I've decided on. Give it a little bit of a tug to tighten it. And then off you go. So you just do that. You just keep on doing that for as long as you like until you've used up all that yarn. So, okay, so just show you. I've got to look inside. Okay, there's an end there. So it's through this section, right? There's absolutely, you can't see a change. We might have if we'd actually just stopped one skein and started the next. But it just looks, it looks seamless.
It does look seamless.
Yeah.
I mean, Julia does a great job of dyeing it so that
yeah, she's very careful.
Minimises the...
Because she's a knitter as well, she knows how important it is to try and get every skein as close to each other as possible. So yeah, we'll talk another time about alternating in a flat garment, but I was on this point and thought I've got to show you.